Out from the head of this fish. You see already, this is the alveoli where forms the bronchi for bringing dry air. You see, it's always on the both sides. Yes, right. These are the gill. You see the gill filaments. These are the gill filaments. That is also very high in capillaries, blood vessels. You have blood vessels on these gill filaments. Is the gill filament that you see the way the thing is in their mouth. They are in such a way that when it's open its mouth, you see, okay, you see the lining. I have not removed this one. Anyway, I'll take the other one. When it opens its mouth, the water comes back on this thing, on this gill filament. Yes, and then passes through. It has a hole, holes that it passes and goes. It's a filter feeder. Because the hole filters the solid particle from the liquids. You understand? Yeah. Those lining filter, I'll show you in the other head. Let me struggle to remove this one. Okay, I'll remove it. This is it. Let me show you. Come. I'll look at the head of this. I'll open the mouth, and you see what happens in their mouth. That's how they use their mouth. This is their buccal cavity. But if you look at it inside, I don't know whether you are able to. You see the lining, the way the gills are, the mouth is made in such a way that when water enters, it opens its mouth very wide to take water and any solid particle that it meets in water, even when it wants to eat. So the solid particle they go behind at the back of the buccal cavity, where you find those two hard things that are like teeth. You understand? And then the throat is in the middle. Now, those two hearty heads to, if it's a solid particle that cannot go down their throat, it grinds it, it press on it so that it reduce. Yes. Meanwhile, the water will pass through these slits. You see these slits, these holes, the lining. The water does not go in their stomach. Never. The water doesn't go in their stomach. So the water passes through this. You see this line on both sides. You see? Are you seeing it? Yes. Yes. This line is on both sides. So when the water passes through this line, what happens is these are behind its mouth, like you have seen in the other, like in this one, like you have seen here. See here, you see now. This is the mouth. This is voila. This one is clear. The water comes. This thing in the mouth. It opens its mouth like this. Yes. Yes. So water enters. The water now enters with food, with solid particles. The food will come behind. This is the throat. And these things, you can touch it. Use the other finger. Yeah, the other finger. I hope you're snapping. Are you seeing? Yeah. Touch this side. Voila. It's shaped like teeth. Yes. So it's also on down all over. Yeah. It's shaped like teeth. So it can grind the solid particle to be able to pass and go in the stomach. Yeah. Meanwhile, the water will pass through this, so it will not go to the stomach. This water that is passing through this, so look at the water. The water is rich in oxygen. Why? In this gill slit is this gill filament is made up with this gill filament is filled with blood capillaries. That brings blood from the circulatory system of the fish around here. This blood that comes around here is high in CO2, in carbon dioxide. That is not necessary for the body. So why the water is high in dissolved oxygen? So the dissolved oxygen will diffuse. Is a process of diffusion into the bloodstream through the capillaries, while the carbon dioxide in the bloodstream will diffuse into the water, and the water will carry it away, while the blood will carry the oxygen into the body of the fish. This happens through a concentration gradient. What do I mean? I mean to say that the concentration in the water that comes in is higher than higher in oxygen than the concentration of oxygen in the blood. So what happens is, where there's higher concentration, it will flow to the oxygen will flow to go to where the lower concentration of oxygen. You understand? That's how oxygen moves across from water to the body of the bloodstream of the fish. And the same thing happens with carbon dioxide. where the concentration of carbon dioxide is very high, it will diffuse into the water, and following a concentration gradient. That is, a higher concentration of carbon dioxide will move to where there's lower concentration of carbon dioxide, and the water will carry the carbon dioxide away. You understand? Making a balance in the bloodstream of the fish. And that is that's the function of these slits. You understand? Now, like I said earlier, when the fish finds itself where there's no water, out of water, that's why you can see it stay out of water for as long as possible. This is what functions. Okay? Now here, this one can dive